Hi, painting pals. Welcome back to Mandy's Minis Live. And it's actually pretty good to be back. So, you voted, we tallied, and across all the social media platforms, the winner for what I'm going to paint today is, Alexa, drumroll please. I guess she doesn't know how to do that. Okay, well, it is a D&D character. So.
Okay.
Wonderful. A little delayed, but perfect. There she is. And, moreover, this isn't just any D&D character. This is my new D&D character that I am making. So, I have been playing in a long-term game, so I've been playing this same character for a very long time, and I love her, and I don't want to stop playing her, but I'm kind of tired of her. I'm tired of her shit sometimes. So, not that she's a problem with a party or anything, but she has strong morals. She is extremely good, and she will never lie because her father once told her that a man's name is all he has, and once you start lying and that name is no good, then you don't even have your own integrity and respect, and that's terrible. Hi, Jamie. How are you? So, anyway, she also will never be accused of murder, so she always has to give the bad guy a chance to stop doing wrong. So no sneak attacks, she does let the other party hide while she asks them to stop being bad, but always has to do that, which is fun, but I'm tired and want something new, and not so good all the time. So I started thinking that maybe I would play something more neutral. I was thinking maybe ranger-ish. So I decided on a tiefling and started looking, and I actually like this one. It's a druid, but that led to a really interesting backstory. So her parentage that she doesn't know is actually a nature demon. Don't ask me to pronounce his name. Oh, Jamie, I'm so glad you're doing great. We are too over here. And I'm glad you're sharing today with us. So, anyway, so there's the start for my color palette. That's what her skin and hair is going to be. Obviously, she doesn't know who her father is since he's a demon, and her mother hates her. I actually named her Cadriel, which is a combination of two different nationalities, and Cadri means torture in one, and El means of God. So her mother named her Torture of God, and that's how she feels about her, hates her. So she ran away and became a druid. So that is her fun backstory, and I'm going to go ahead and start painting her up today with all of you. So I'm actually very excited. I was certain I would be painting Nurgle today when we created that list, but surprise, surprise, Warhammer was not even second place, so that's really fun. I mean, I love Nurgle, but that's what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and get her started up. And
can you shift over towards your paint just a little bit?
I can, but you can take him down now.
We'll take him down in a little bit.
Okay, because we really don't need him.
I understand. People should have an idea, though.
Yep. So this is going to be a very different character for me.
Very much.
And I'm really excited about it. I like playing my main character, but I'm very excited to start something new. And
I want to know if Jamie's painting with us.
Yeah. Everybody, anybody out there painting, let us know what you are painting, and that's always a lot of fun.
Or what you painted most recently.
Yeah. Or, if you don't even paint, maybe you don't. Maybe you just like watching people paint. Ben does. Ben finds it fascinating to watch people paint, but he does not like painting himself. Which is why he pushed me into painting miniatures. He wants the miniatures, and he wants to create the scenes for them, the terrain. But he didn't want to paint the minis, so he tried to sucker me into it. Sad to say it worked. Took a long time, but it worked.
I do like the terrain, and yes, I like having a big collection of minis.
Yes, and you're talking very quietly.
Not on purpose, I'm just talking.
Actually, you're kind of whispering for you. You're very loud, usually. Ben has no idea what his volume actually is at any time. So, he'll be trying to whisper to me in a store, crowded store, and he'll, be yelling. It's like, oh my gosh, be quiet.
I've lost control of my inner monologue!
Yep.
Sorry.
Alright. So.
Oh, she just doesn't have very much skin on her, does she?
She does not, yeah. She does not. But she has some nice cleavage and, her face and hands. Face being the most important thing, but... so,
I think most people would be surprised at who's the bigger fan of cleavage in this.
In miniatures, yeah, no, that's definitely me, but, that's my take, and I don't begrudge anyone who does not like that take, but... I live with my reality. I want my fantasy to be a little bit different than my reality. That's just me, and I'm glad that there's a lot of more versatility in models out there coming out, but I still tend to prefer my fantasy of it being pretty and nice and all the things that I don't always feel in the real world. I'm not going to say I never feel pretty, but this isn't like a woe is me kind of thing. But yeah, so most of my characters, well, actually, my thief she was very well covered.
Yes.
So.
But she was also hiding from everybody.
She was, yeah. She was trying not to draw that kind of attention, so. There we go. She is now blue. I feel like I'm painting a Smurf over here.
Well, I mean, Smurfette was kind of a druid, right?
I don't think so. I mean, technically, if you look at Smurfette's backstory...
She was a construct, yeah.
Construct designed to...
So that would be Gardener Smurf for that. That was the druid.
Farmer Smurf. He was Farmer Smurf.
That's right, Farmer Smurf. We're showing our age here.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? At least I'm managing to avoid saying what she actually was created for.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers on the, 40-plus year
old...
Oh,
no, I was more saying
point?
that I don't think YouTube would be happy with us saying that kind of thing on its platform.
Oh, well.
That's more of the concern there than the actual whatever. So, all right. Yeah, moving quite along. All right, so, and yesterday was Friday the 13th. Did you guys have a good Friday the 13th? Anything weird happen to you?
Dun dun dun.
I'm not superstitious or anything, but I still find it fun. Halloween's my favorite day of the year. Or, well, yeah, pretty much. Halloween's pretty much my favorite, so you can tell I like Friday the 13th as well. We did a horror movie marathon last night. And, have been running late most of this morning because of it. But we still got on time and everything's running and working, and that's huge for us. Because previous live streams did always have a technical issue, and we managed to avoid that this time. So that's always great. And a big special shout out to our patrons. Thank you guys so much, because it was their support that allowed us to upgrade the live stream equipment to be able to do a proper live stream without running into tech problems.
2 in a row now. We did the patrons live stream, and this one,
Yeah.
is off to a good start.
Yeah.
At least it seems to be. Nobody's complaining.
That's very true. So, blue skin. I never thought I would play a character with blue skin. If you asked me that 5 years ago, I would have been like, not my thing. And yet, here I am, voluntarily making one out of my own choice and my own desire to do so. But we got to watch finally got to see the Fear Street movies. 3 of them. Apparently there's a 4th one out now. We didn't get through that one last night. But it was already 4 in the morning when we went to bed. So, yeah, it's okay that we missed that one,
They were put together pretty well.
They were. That was actually a lot of fun.
I mean, they're never going to be, looked back on as the most impressive movies ever, but...
Oh, horror movies never are. But we grew up in the 80s, so slasher flicks galore.
You could say we have low standards.
Oh, bad.
What?
Technical issues are popping up. It's because I said something. I jinxed us. Oh my gosh.
It's not anything I can fix either.
Not right this second, but it's something that you're going to have to look at later. But yeah, I mean, my mom, she had me watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7 years old, which you may think is really strange, but she would have me watch the behind the scenes movies where they show the making of how they did all the special effects and the makeup and all of that, and then would put on the movie right afterwards. And when I would get scared, she'd look at me and say, "You just saw how they did that. You know it's not real. What are you scared of? Come on, don't be stupid." So that was my mom for you. So I also grew up with one of her favorite musicals was Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So, what do you want? That's and that was the old musical. Oh, God bless you. Oh my gosh. If you're gonna keep that up, you're gonna need to leave.
Yeah, I know.
He starts going into fits sometimes. Or he just won't stop. But, yeah, and I'm talking about the very old Angela Lansbury recording, where it was an actual stage version. Because obviously in the 80s, the Johnny Depp one wasn't made, so definitely didn't grow up on that one. But, alright. Well, I'm not sure you guys can see really well, but she's actually looking pretty good so far. And I'm kind of cranking through her pretty quickly here.
You say she's still mostly white.
Well, her skin tone.
I'm teasing. So what's going to be her general outlook on the world since, Mom hates her and...
Yeah, but what I'm actually thinking and what I was leaning towards was, she went into the forest because people suck and, they all hate her just for being what she is, that she can't control. But then over time she starts, the world starts changing and people are a little nicer and she's kind of seeing that outlook. So she is going to give people a chance and she's kind of exploring, and that way she's not the sad loner that doesn't want to be with the party. She's giving them a chance to prove to her that people are not all awful and evil, and she can actually be part of society.
So very limited edgelord vibes.
Right. And
Cool.
A lot of that's just going to kind of depend on her party and how much they want to, or they're willing to essentially assist her with. Prove to her that not everybody is like that. So, and I think with the party that she will be pairing up with, it'll be good.
We got some good people.
Yes. Yes. Our friends are awesome, so that party will be good. And we have another game supposed to be starting at some point. And when I was out of the room, everyone kind of picked their characters of what they were going to be doing. So I'm the only one who doesn't know what I'm doing in the game, what kind of character to make or anything.
I don't think the rest of us really know. I know we said we chose, but...
Well, part of it, everyone has already created, have models and started painting them.
Well...
And I think I'm supposed to be a cleric or a priestess of some sort, but I'm not sure.
It'd be like a con one-shot. You'll show up and get handed a character sheet and work from there.
I'm probably going to be expected to show up with the character sheet and, ready to play, and I'm going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. So,
that's okay. You can manage.
Hey, yeah. Well, and if that GM happens to be watching, let me know what I'm supposed to be doing, because I have no clue. And I highly doubt I'm going to reach out on my own, because I just never think of it. And it's going to be something that I either pull off real crazy last minute, or I don't know.
Well, we also need to know when she wants to start, so...
Yeah, that's true. I also don't have a start date, so not too worried. Alright, there we go. Now, I am not going to try and paint her face on camera with you guys, because that just will not really happen. She will not come out nice. I've tried... I'll try on camera for like a video where I have time to edit and kind of play with it, but for a live stream, like, I just feel like that's asking for trouble, so not really going to try and go there. But that's okay. Oh, looks like the problem fixed itself. So.
Yay!
Wonderful.
We like when they do that.
Yes. So, what other exciting things do we have going on besides just D&D?
Well, if we can get another one of these going in a reasonable amount of time, then we can feel nice and confident about starting a Twitch channel.
Well, that was kind of the plan, and actually, this is supposed to be our final test for that. This is our second one. That is
Okay.
our last test. So
Okay, well, then there you go.
we will
Look for us on Twitch.
we will probably get that started sometime soon. I do have a lot of figures that are getting started for Gen Con.
Yep, you got
I know.
Tom's figures.
I know lots and lots of D&D players and D&D YouTubers are getting ready for Gen Con. We ourselves will not be attending, but my figures will. So, yay. So if you are going, definitely head over to the Impact Minis booth, where you'll see lots of figures that I've painted for them. I'm not the only painter they have. So I didn't paint everything, but I do paint for them quite a bit, and I've got some very exciting ones that I'm prepping for them. So that'll be fun. Oh, she's looking so cool. I really like her.
That does look very cool.
So, let's see if I can give you guys a better view. Obviously, her hair is going to go far more red. Can we see our reference photo again?
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, the hair is going to go a lot more red, but it's actually going to be a dark red, not quite that bright. Because I don't want to do too much bright colors on her, since she is a druid in the forest, and I have a lot of colors to work in. I've got to work in some yellows and greens, as well as blues and reds, and that is a lot of bright colors. So there's going to be a lot of neutrals as well going on.
Shall we also give a shout out to the base you made?
Yes, I love my base. Most of this came from Epic Basing, right?
Mm-hmm.
3D printed. Not sponsored. They don't give me money or free product or anything, but we love their stuff.
They make some cool stuff, and what they do
Yes.
design is very well supported and designed. So it's very
Right.
nice stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the detail on this plant here in the back. It's pretty awesome. And then you can actually see the moss. I mean, it's probably hard to see on screen right now without being painted, but there's moss and mushrooms on the tree. So there's a lot of detail already going on in there, a lot of textures. And I was able to kind of put this together. We're going to have some mud and grass back here, as well as some scatter for her being in the forest. So I thought that looked pretty nice. She's standing on a little rock back here, and then the plant is growing out of the rock, out from underneath and in front of it. So that was the base I threw together. Voting actually stopped on Wednesday, so I could make sure I was prepared for this. Especially since I wasn't able to paint last night because we had our big date night. So Friday
paint and watch horror movies at the same time.
Right. I mean, you can, but you really don't experience the horror movies as much as you should. I'll just leave it as that. You should. You should enjoy those horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hate horror movies,
That's
why?
okay too.
Why? Why do you hate them? Well, yeah, that's also okay. But I just don't get it because they're fun. Of course, then again, my mom and I, we would find the campiest horror movies ever. And, again, child of 80s horror. So, yeah. Although, it's not like I grew up with Army of Darkness or anything. I didn't see that until I was well into my adulthood and, 35 years old. So, it was a long time before I saw that one. But, we used to love finding just horribly bad horror movies. And one of the big ones that was very special for me and my mom were the Puppet Master series. So, kind of give you a little example of where that taste comes from.
Yeah, you guys liked your slasher movies.
Yes, and now my love for Nurgle makes a little more sense. It is just pure 80s horror magic. Let's be honest. Wrapped up in a cute little bow and smile. I mean...
You just love the smiles.
I adore the smiles on the Nurgles. So, yes. And before anyone asks, no, I don't actually play, I just paint. We do not play war games. I've played one war game that I actually enjoyed. And that was Free Blades. We played it once. And it was fun, but it was not the kind of thing that I would probably do regularly. Just other things that I enjoy more. And every other war game I've tried, I just haven't really liked. So, definitely not my thing. Although I do appreciate everyone who plays, because that's how I get most of my commissions. I shouldn't say most, but many of my commissions. Most of my commissions are actually D&D related, because that's what I love. And I work with a lot of DMs to make the minis, especially their bosses, and their BBEs, BBEGs.
And we have made a few really impressive ones.
Yes. And that's part of the fun, is they stretch our abilities. Can you do this? I don't know, I've never done it before. Let me try. So. And, usually we figure it out and make it happen, which is kind of fun.
Takes a try or two, but...
Yeah, it can. So. Alright, so what else is going on in the Mandy's Minis world?
I don't know, you're the one there.
You're saying you don't live there with me? I mean, you're my husband.
I'm saying you have a lot better idea. I'm saying that you have a lot better idea of what's going on in your head than I do. Brush down. Brush down.
I was going to say, you don't know me very well. Don't know what's going on, or I know what's going on in my head. I don't think so. Nobody knows what's going on up there. That's just wild. But yay, she's getting there. I really kind of like this. I gotta branch out a little bit more. Pun intended.
Druid branch. Haha.
Yep. Low-hanging fruit, but I grabbed it anyway.
Oh my. My father would be very, very proud.
I know. But...
So, since you're probably not going to finish her on screen today.
Oh, I definitely not. Like I said, I'm not even going to attempt the face.
And we're trying to do, we're talking about doing Twitch on a regular basis.
Yes.
You're going to make her a Twitch project?
No. Because then I'd have to paint her hair, paint her face on camera. Paint her face on canvas. Yeah, I've painted very few things on canvas, and not most of them did not turn out right.
Hey, the dragon eye worked out really nice.
That's the one I'm really proud of. But beyond that, not so much. Okay. So, but I actually very much enjoyed the voting process and letting everybody else pick kind of what I'm painting on live. So I think I might start doing that more regularly.
I thought it was awesome.
Maybe I will do like, a project all the way through to the end on live stream. I know that a lot of painters do that on Twitch, but for YouTube videos, it does not do very well with the algorithm. The algorithm kind of says, yeah, you did that video already, move on. And does not really like that kind of thing. So, or at least not on my channel. I mean, let's be honest, who really knows what's going on with that algorithm? I'm sure there's someone out there somewhere, but I truly believe that for the most part, it's just a lot of people guessing and guess this is what the algorithm wants. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's most of YouTube. Yeah,
I try not to worry about it because you know what? I mean, honestly, if the channel gets big, it gets big. That's great. I didn't think it would ever get as big as it is already. So, if I get any better, it gets any bigger and better, then that's great. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to sit here and love the community. And, I'm here for...
We're just here for the fun of it.
For the fun of it and for the community of it, we love connecting with you guys. And that's why I want to do more live stream, and that's why I want to do more Twitch. More Twitch, like I've done any of it. But that's why I want to do Twitch and more live streams and get this going. This has been something that I've been trying for the last few years. It just hasn't fully come into fruition yet, but soon. So that's the plan. And then but yeah, so I think that could be cool. And once I finish a model, then we put up a poll for the next one and go from there. That should be fun. So, but YouTube algorithm, we know for a fact, everybody says that they will not push out a lot of live stream. It's just not the biggest driver for that platform, which makes sense. I think most people go to YouTube for how-tos, and very few people go there for actual, I shouldn't say very few, compared to the entire world. It's a portion, but I mean, let's be honest, even 1% of the entire world is a lot of people. But I tend to think that YouTube knows its audience and who's there for entertainment and who's there for education.
And the vast majority are looking for entertainment and...
Well, education more than entertainment, which is why the lives aren't as popular there. Whereas Twitch is designed strictly for live.
Yeah.
I mean, you can rewatch past live streams, same thing on YouTube, but I just don't feel like it was made for that.
Also, YouTube is much more cognizant of we're looking for short.
Well, yeah, as attention spans go down, the further we move along here, attention spans go down. I can't tell you how many people in my life have ADHD. And I, as one of the people who do not, it kind of drives me nuts. I try to be sympathetic. I get it, you know. My husband has it. My boss has it. Half my employees at work have it. Everybody has it lately. And my friends, like, they're ADHD too. And me, I am a very focused person, the exact antithesis, complete opposite, and sometimes it's overwhelming to me. But that also means that I'm the planner, so I'm the one who usually has to plan and forethought and things like that. So it's fine, it's all good, and for the most part that doesn't matter. But you know, it is something that I feel like is becoming more prevalent in our society. And you know, we can all talk about the ills of TikTok and things like that, but you know, the fact is, it's not TikTok's fault, because TikTok is not the one watching it. You know, the viewers who are choosing to watch a 30-second video instead of a 10-minute video are the ones deciding. So ultimately, it's always comes down to the viewers. So if the viewers want a 30-second video instead of a 10-minute video, that's what they want. It doesn't matter what the algorithm says. That's what the people want. And I feel like when you're doing this kind of thing, live streaming or just creating content and videos in general, it's about what the people want. So ultimately, that's all that matters. So I'm not going to tell you to do anything different. You just do what you want to do, and I'll be here for it. Or, you know, since like I just said I'm the planner, I'll plan around it.
There you go.
That's just the way it's gonna be. So, alright. We are coming close to done with her hair. I'm on the highlights already. Can you believe it?
I'm impressed.
Just chugging along.
You are going quick.
Well, it's also, I mean, typically I've been painting, most of the time I paint busts because they're larger, so they're easier for you guys to see while I'm painting, which is awesome. But on the other hand, it does, if it's bigger, it obviously takes longer. So it's kind of nice to be here and be like, oh, look, ... done. It's a very different kind of feel. But I've always been a pretty fast painter since I started. In fact, we used to joke about needing to put up a little post-it in front of me on the wall that says, slow down. Because while finishing, you know, finishing the models quickly is great, if I slow down, I can be a little bit more specific in where the highlights are placed, make sure they're going in the right spot, where I want them, getting better results than if I just continued to rush through. So sometimes you just gotta slow down, which is not easy for ADHD people. But again, not easy for me either, so I'm definitely not complaining about that one. That one I will gladly join you on. But I feel like that's also part of the way we live in the world nowadays. We're all aware of such a finite amount of time and there just not ever being enough time, and how valuable time is. So rush really is the norm.
Yeah, computers were supposed to give us all so much more time.
Well, they did. We're getting a lot more done in a shorter amount of time, but that doesn't mean that's everything we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it's boiling down to. Now, there's just more that we can do and more that we want to do.
We have more time for the things we want to do.
Right. But that just makes us want more.
We were having that discussion the other night, weren't we?
We were. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that discussion. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more. But, oh, I love it. Okay. So here she is, hair and skin done. Hold on, let me clean off my brush. This is my good detail brush. I want to make sure it's perfect and stays perfect.
Hold them up so they can see the tip.
It's not really, hold on, not really holding its nicest point.
Yeah, but for a number 2 brush, I mean, come on.
Well, it doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. What matters is the importance is the great tip and how small that tip is.
It's pretty cool.
Which is why you want to make sure it stays in that finest point that you possibly can get, which just got a little bit more, but the brush needs to be cleaned. End of every painting session, you're supposed to clean your brushes to keep them their best. Okay, so here she is. Nice and close, you guys can see all the blue and red. And let's pull up the reference photo. There he is.
I think you nailed it.
I think that's pretty darn good. So I'm very excited about that. I am going to go ahead and here's the back so far. I'm going to go ahead and get started on her face off camera because 28mm on screen is really hard to paint. And if you guys saw, like I know you're seeing me here, the camera is literally like an inch from my face. Okay, that's like maybe 2 inches from my face. But still, it's like right here. So in order to get the eyes, I have to put the model up like this, and there's a camera in the way, and it's really hard to see. So I'm gonna have to do that off camera because I want it to be perfect. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But thank you so much for joining me for another live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we did. We definitely are excited to do it more and be back now that I'm breaking everything. Now that everything's working, and hopefully going to stay working despite my trying to break it. And anything else you want to add, Ben?
I think we got it all covered.
All right, so that's it for this one. Until next time.